Yo, maybe I should make my bed. Much better. I have a confession. When I was in high school, when I was about 16, 17 years old, I used to skip class to go hang out with girls in the library. But because I wasn't 18, anytime that I would skip class, my parents would get an email from the school saying, "Oh, Hussein missed class." And I would only do this when there would be a substitute teacher. So I would tell my parents, I was in class, the substitute teacher made a mistake, I was actually there, even though I wasn't. So one time, my dad decided to call the school and basically fight on my behalf, saying, "Yo, my son was in school. Why are you not giving him the right attendance?" They ended up giving me the right attendance, even though I wasn't even there. So, my dad, if you're watching this, sorry about that. That confession isn't that bad. Well, today, my Instagram manager found us some of the craziest, most absurd confessions across the entire TikTok platform. A platform where people have zero sense of any digital literacy. We're gonna rank those confessions on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being, that wasn't that bad. 10 being, you need to be locked up. So, let us begin. I don't know if you guys know this, but I stand up in all my videos. Today, my legs are hurting. I'm gonna sit down. All right, so we got a bunch of stories. I have absolutely no idea what to expect. Let's just see where this goes. Yo.
Are you being f***ing serious?
I just woke him up for no reason. All right, let's begin. Story time, I'm done with this gym. Fun fact, before we click play, I got a new car this week. And because I got a new car, I decided to go to a new gym. It was mid. Anyways.
I'm never going to the gym late at night. I'm at the gym, right? Doing good, right? And I asked this girl, because she was on the pull-up machine. I needed the pull-up machine. I asked her, "Oh, how many sets do you have left?" Before I can even ask her how many sets you have left, she takes off her headphones. She goes, "What? I have a boyfriend."
I've been there. The exact same thing happened to me bar for bar in 2022. I was at the gym and this one girl was on her phone for like 20 minutes. So I'm like, okay, kind of need this machine. So I went up to her. I like waved because I didn't want to, tap her on the shoulder or anything. And she's like, "What? I have a boyfriend." "No, you dumb fuck. How many sets do you have left?" And she's like, "Oh, 3. Well, then hurry your ass up, for God's sakes. Anyways, what happened?
I was just gonna ask you how many sets you had left. I literally laughed. I go, I was just gonna ask you how many sets you have left. And then she said, "I don't know what's funny." She puts her hand on her hip like, I'm like, "Oh, you assumed that I was gonna come hit on you?" And she's like, "Yeah, because you kept looking at me."
Red flag. Red flag. Why is she engaging in conversation with this stranger? Why is she entertaining a stranger like this? Just answer the question. Imagine if your girlfriend was like, "Oh, why are you hitting on me?" Answer the question. How many sets do you have left, for God's sakes?
I was looking at the machine. I was looking at the machine. I was not looking at you. I wanted to see, so I saw somebody who was on it. She's like, "And you're stuttering. So I know you want me. Everybody wants me, but not everybody can have me. What do you even do for a living? Are you a millionaire?" Because I only mess with millionaires. I'm just trying to use the pull-up machine, dog. Like, dude, like, what the...
Again, I refuse to believe these are real humans. Not him, the girl. Every time I do these videos, my brain is just like, you're not real. We are living in a simulation. I got switched up on by my famous friend. Look, I want to show you something. My Instagram manager put a text that says, "Hussein switched up." All right, man. All right, let's see.
About the whole switching up on your day ones.
I got switched up on, and I don't really know what to do about it. I got this homie who's been posting consistently on TikTok for like a couple months now, and he just recently had 2 videos get like over 500,000 views. He's gotten a decent amount of followers from it, like 2 or 3,000. And I see him at the gym the other day, and I go up to him and I'm like, "Yo, bro, how are you?" And he hits me with this. So I step in front of him, and I'm like, "Hey, man, how are you?" And he goes, pretty good. You know how it is." And then he put his AirPods in inside down. "I've known you for 7 years, bro. What are we doing?" So I just let him do his set. I thought he was just in a bad mood or something. And I'm leaving the gym, and I noticed he's leaving the gym too. So I'm like, I'm gonna go catch up with him. So I kind of jog over, and I get next to him, and I'm like, "Hey, man, how are you today?" And he goes, "Come on, man. I know what you're doing." "What? What am I doing?" He goes, I know
you saw my TikTok, and I know you're trying to grow your page. Just ask. Just ask? What are you talking about, bro? I go, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "I know you're gonna want to ask for advice." I'm like, "Dog, you know I've had videos that have gotten more than 500,000 views. I don't need advice from you." And he goes, "Yeah, but mine got way more engagement, and I'm gonna be something."
Yo, this is what social media does to people, bro. I swear to God. Like, if you're not a grounded human being, you let these numbers get to your head, and then like this happens. This video alone, which got 656,000 likes, I guarantee got more views than the entirety of his entire friend's whole TikTok career or whatever. See how many views this got. 4.6 million views. Now, according to my genius calculations, that just so happens to be 9 500,000s plus 100,000. But to take a page out of this brother's book, listen guys, when you eventually make it in life, you have to switch up on your day ones. You have to associate yourself with people who only acknowledge your existence because you made it somewhere. If you didn't make it anywhere, they wouldn't give a fuck about you, because those are what real friends are, right? I'm being sarcastic, by the way. Anytime I ever see videos of people being like, yo, you want to be in rooms with millionaires. You want to be in rooms with people who have things that you don't. Man, shut up, for God's sakes. You'll get rid of the people who actually know you for people who wouldn't give a fuck about you if you died, for God's sakes. So should you switch up on your day ones? Absolutely. Listen, one final point before we get to the next video. The friends that survive past high school, those are your long-term friends. Because after high school ends, everyone disperses. No, bro, you'll never see these people ever again. So the people who actually make it past your high school years, who you end up staying friends with, those are the ones who are gonna be there for a long time. Grounded for 2.5 months, I'm finna tell y'all about when I got grounded.
Grounded my entire 7th grade summer, but just peep game and lock in real quick. 7th grade, there was no Snapchat and Instagram. There was this app called Kick. Everybody and their mom texted each other on Kick. And me and my homies, we had this group chat where we were sending crazy shit we had no business doing. But one of those videos in the group chat was two of my...
Holy shit, this just unlocked the memory. Kick Messenger, bro. If you know what this is, you're a real one. Oh my God, can I log into my old account? Okay, I'm gonna do that off camera if I don't forget.
Was two of my homies fighting, straight fist fighting. And in the back, you could see my homie running around with his pants at his waist and his boxers down. You could straight up see dick and balls. The video was crazy. I don't even know why I was saved. But the first week of summer, me and my brother are outside playing basketball till like 8 o'clock at night. The lights went off, so me and my brother went home. When we got in the house, my parents were sitting down in the dark with both our tablets out on the couch. We both forgot to log out of Kick. So my parents were like, what is this video? And it was the video of my homie running around butt booty naked. So we're like, oh my God, Mom, I'm so sorry. We don't know what he was doing in the video. But my mom and dad were like, we can hear your voice in the video. What are you guys doing? So we're like, we're so sorry, Mom. We're not going to do that stuff again. And then my mom was like, nah, we're going to go show this to his parents. And we lived in a townhouse. He lived 2 houses to the left. So my parents left, didn't come back for a good hour. And when they came back, they said, we're not even going to whip you. You guys are just grounded for the entire summer. For the first month, from June to July, we couldn't go outside unless we were bringing in the groceries or checking mail. But about mid-July, one day my mom was like, you know what? You guys go take out the trash. So me and my brother, we ran outside, we took out the trash. And while we were taking out the trash, we saw our homie in the bike, the same who was running around butt booty naked. And he screamed, you fucking snitches. And that was one of the hardest moments of my life because I couldn't even explain myself. I had no phone. I couldn't even text them that we didn't snitch. It took us a good 2-3 months to beat those snitch allegations.
That's a crazy situation. I have a story where I got in grade 4 because I got snitched on. Look, you guys know that one YouTuber, Ryan Higa? His name is Niga Higa, okay? He was my favorite YouTuber of all time when I was a kid. So when I was a kid and I came from Switzerland, I would ask the students around me trying to make friends in a new country that I just come to, yo, you ever see this YouTuber? Yo, you ever see this YouTuber? And I would say the person's name. I'm not gonna spam saying his name now because we're living in 2025 and I already know someone's gonna clip me saying the YouTuber's name and they're gonna use it out of context. So let's just say Ryan Higa. I kept asking, yo, you know who Ryan Higa is? You know who Ryan Higa is? And everyone's like, no, I don't. For some reason, I don't know. I guess people in Switzerland were more of a fan of his than people in Canada, which is bizarre because people in Switzerland don't even speak English. But regardless, one of the kids, whose name was Sasha, this Russian fuck, he decided to go and tell my teacher that Hussein is running around saying the N-word. Was I saying the N-word? No, bitch. I was saying the YouTuber's name. But no, I got snitched on. So my dad gets a call from the school being like, yo, your son is saying the N-word. So I come home from school and my dad's like, what are you talking about? Is this true? And I'm like, look, I know, trust me to God. Wallah. I was not saying the N-word. I was just saying the YouTuber's name. And luckily, my dad knew how much of a fan I was with this YouTuber. So my dad came to the school and I just remember getting confronted by my teacher being like, it doesn't matter if it's a YouTuber. You can't be saying that. And in my head, I'm like, dude, it's his name for God's sakes. What are you talking about? Anyways, I didn't get grounded because luckily my parents have brains and they're not NPCs. But that teacher later on actually kept getting me in trouble. So one day my mom decided to call the school and she was like, yo, you dumb fuck. Why are you messing with my boy? Do you want me to come to the school and beat your ass? My mom didn't actually say that, but she basically was like, yo, it's fucked up what you're doing to him. Because I actually wasn't doing shit. I swear to God. One time I said, oh my God. And I got kicked out of class because I'm using God's name in vain. Hello? Anyways. Grade 4 and 5, I got the same teacher back-to-back years. That was something else. But that is the time that I got snitched on. This brother also just got snitched on. But his situation is much different than mine. My situation, I didn't do shit. His situation, look, only God knows what the fuck he was doing. But anyways, let's move on. Man, if you grew up watching this guy's videos, damn, just if you know, you know. That's all I gotta say. 18 years ago, holy shit, I'm turning to an uncle. This video alone is older than most of you. Anyways, let's just continue.
I maxed out my mom's credit card on Clash of Clans. When I was like 10 years old, like over the summer or some shit, my friend invited me to like Lake Tahoe, and we was staying there for a week. And you know, when you're 10 years old, bro, a week is like a year. So like I was taking advantage of everything. And I remember we was chilling at like the cabin, just like chilling on Clash of Clans. And like, bro, we're 10 years old. Our bases are mid. I'm tired of getting fucked up by these Asian people with God bases. And, you know, I'm just fed up. So I was like, yo, bro, watch this. I'm about to ball out. Boom, 100 on the gems. I see the gems adding to my account. The dopamine rush is insane. I'm like, holy shit, I'm about to have the most lit base. But it wasn't enough. 100 again. I see the number. Still wasn't satisfied. I did it another 3 times. $500 worth of gems on the cock account. I'm up, right? I'm maxing out my shit. I'm like a Town Hall 10 with like level 4 walls. And you know, I'm up. My friend's like, he's like looking over my shoulder, like peeping my base. He's like, bruh, no way you got all that shit. I'm like, yeah. and I was chilling, bruh. I didn't know they could see the credit card statement. I just thought Apple was just hooking me up with the fucking gems. I was like, bet. I was like, shit, I might do this like every day. And then probably like an hour later, my fucking mom calls my mom. I didn't have a phone. It was like an iPod, so like you can't call on it. So my mom called my fucking friend's mom, right? Fucking livid on the phone, talking about what the fuck is my kid doing on the credit card. And I'm like, they were like in the downstairs, like we were up on like a loft, so like you could hear the whole phone combo. I'm just like sinking into the bed, just like trying to hide type shit. Like I'm not here. And she come up and lecture my ass. Dude,
I've been there.
She's like $500 on what? She was like calling.
I've been there. Or you just know you're in so much trouble. So your only option is to just hide under the blanket like, oh, I'm so cooked. After this, I actually got another story.
What did you buy? And I was like, I bought gems. She's like, are they real fucking gems? They better be real gems. And I was like, it's like a game currency. She was like, are you fucking kidding me? You're grounded when you get home. So like at the time, we still had like 4 days left in the vacation. So I had like a 4-day grace period. So I was still chilling. Like the flight home, you could just like feel just the increase of anxiety. And then the second I get home, here's the punishment. $500 is a lot, guys. When I was 9, I thought $500 wasn't shit. Right? That's a lot for a Clash of Clans account. So the punishment was no Christmas presents, right? For like 3 years, because they did the math, like 500 over 3 years, that's like 175 a year. Yeah, that's his low budget. Nice.
Well, I feel like you gotta go through these things when you're a kid. Like, I actually feel like these experiences teach you a lot of life experience, I guess, where you begin to learn, oh shit, maybe my actions do have consequences. I have another quick confession. When I was younger, my parents wouldn't let me or any of my brothers play on the console, so the PS3, unless we had A's. If all of our grades were A's, then we could play during the weekdays. But if all of our grades were A's, we were not allowed to play during the weekdays. But there were exceptions where if I got an A on a test, I could play for that day. So back in my elementary school, it wouldn't be A, B, C, D. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 is a D. 4 is an A. So one time in my geography test or some shit, I got a 1, meaning I failed. So on the paper, my teacher put 1, come see me after class. My slick ass saw what pen the teacher was using, and I had the same pen in my pencil case. So I literally just went, shh, turned the 1 into a 4 real quick. I went home that day and I showed it to my parents, being like, yo, look, I'm grinding, bro. Look at me getting good grades and whatnot. And my parents were so proud of me. They were like, oh, good shit, my son. Then my dad dapped me up like this. Later on, we ended up going to a parent-teacher conference and my parents were like so happy. They're like, oh, our son, he's killing it, bro. Comes up to the teacher and the teacher is like, we need to talk. And my parents are like, okay. And he's like, your son is failing. And my dad and my mom looked at me like this. And I was like, yo, bruv, I could explain. Yeah, I ended up getting grounded from that. But I actually did turn it around, to be fair. I worked hard, turned my grades around. But still, I got grounded for moosing my way too. Train's unbelievable story.
I had a good friend at the time. that was the son of a very famous Arizona Diamondback player. We met up. I was actually looking for H, and he was like, fuck it, bro. Like, my connect's not awake. Like, just try this. I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. He pulls out his pipe, bro, puts the meth in there. We just start smoking it, bro. I'm smoking the whole time on the couch. We're playing MLB on PlayStation. I think we like did it on like a Thursday or Friday. I see it's light outside. I'm thinking it's like Saturday afternoon, right? Get up to check my phone that's plugged into the kitchen wall. Brother, I have like 362 missed calls from my parents, right? Like friends calling me. I'm like, what? I'm like, why the fuck do I have 300 missed calls? That's crazy. It's been one fucking day. Like, I checked my phone, bro. It was the next week's Tuesday.
Yo, you know he's not lying either. That story was there were so many details to that story. You know that actually happened. Yo, don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs. We went to school with some genuine crazy people.
I feel like the further I get away from high school, the more I realize how unique of an experience high school actually was. Like, we were dead ass going to school, eating burgers and milk at 10:30 a.m. with genuine psychos, like real future menaces to society. I remember at my school, there was this kid who would always sit at our table. He wouldn't like talk to us much. We would always talk about some dumb stuff, and he would just be sitting there on his phone giggling at his screen. So one day, I'm like, you know what? Let me be a nice dude. Let me make some new friends. Let me not make him feel alienated. Let me interact with bro. I walk up to him. I'm like, hey, bro, what you watching? He says, oh, yeah, some gore videos. At the time, I didn't really know what that meant. So I'm like, okay, let me watch them with you.
All I'm gonna say is that I had someone like that too. Bro, at 7 in the morning, there would be kids who would just have these videos that he just said and would just airdrop it to people in the halls. So you would check your phone, you'd be like, oh, iPhone is trying to send you something via airdrop. You open it, you're in your French class at 9:20 in the fucking morning, watching someone, you know, get unalived. So crazy to see that this is a universal school experience. I mean, yo, tell me if that happened to you as well, because that was a thing in my school. Funny enough, that kid actually ended up in jail. I have a story about that too. But my school also was kind of absurd. Let me let this guy finish, and then I'll tell you my story.
Tell me why this dude is watching videos. Like, there's a website filled to the brim with videos of people dying.
All right, that's enough. The kid who I was just talking about, we'll name him B, the letter B. This kid would airdrop people in the school just, you know, fucked up videos of people, you know, dying. And he would airdrop it to random kids across the school. Random grade 9 kids, teachers even. He would just be sending these videos out anonymously. But, you know, through insider information, we were finding out that, oh, this kid was the one doing it. So this kid had a missing screw in his head, obviously. And honestly, looking back at it, you wouldn't be surprised that someone like this would end up in jail. But this kid also just so happened to be a dealer of, Robux. Okay, let's just say Robux. Use your imagination to what I'm talking about. So this kid, like, would post on his Snapchat story him getting pulled over. Like, every other day, it would feel like he would get suspended from school because of, you know, fights and whatnot. Like, this kid was just a troublemaker, all right? So I graduate high school. I cut off everybody. Legit everybody. I kept maybe 10 people. Everyone else I have not seen since I graduated. Him being one of them. I had to basically be like, okay, I don't want to get on your bad side, so I'm just gonna, you know, shake your hand when I see you in the hallway. I'm not gonna ignore your handshake, because if you ignore a person's handshake, that signifies I have beef with you. Apparently, I don't know, man. We're living in weird times where the tiniest things could set off the most emotionally fragile humans. Anyways, fast forward to 2020. It's now COVID year, so everyone's off the map. Everyone's like, you know, quarantining or whatever. And by December 2020, the gyms started to open up where I live. So I'm like, finally, instead of doing push-ups in my room, I could finally go to the gym. So I go to the gym and I'm with my older brother. And this guy is at the gym, except he's wearing a hood and his strings of the hood are like very pulled up. So all you could see are like his eyes and his nose. So I recognize him because, I don't know, I was just able to recognize his build. And he comes up to me and he's like, oh, yo, Hussein, long time no see, bro. What are you saying? Whatever. And I'm like, oh, just working on some stuff. Because at the time, this is when I had just gotten into like the whole online community on Twitter and whatnot. I didn't explain what I was doing, but I'm like, yo, I'm just doing some stuff, doing my own thing. And he's like, oh, cool. And like, he tries to shake my brother's hand, but my brother just looks away. Because my brother had a feeling that, yo, something's wrong with this guy. This guy's weird. And luckily, my brother's a genius. he was right, because that day, this guy, that literal same day, he stabbed someone. And then to hide from the public, he decided to go to the gym. I see him walk out of the gym, and I'm now doing abs on the mats. If I have a video of it, I'll pull it up right now. I'm doing abs at these mats. I look at the TV and it says, B is wanted. Any information about this, contact XYZ. I even got a fucking, like alert on my phone that signifies wanted persons. Anyone has any information on this person, contact XYZ. And then I was like, yo, that's kind of ridiculous. This guy went and did that, came to the gym, bumped into my ass. Like, who knows what kind of state of mind this crackhead was in, for God's sakes. Bro, this whole video is just turning into me telling stories about shit that's happened throughout my life. You know what? I hope you're enjoying it. If you're still watching to this point, to an extent, you're enjoying my stories. So, stick around. Bro, this is wild. What is wild?
Okay, live update. We're at Lagoon and my husband did a 23 DNA test because he's adopted. And dude, he never had a a biological parent put on his birth certificate because he was straight up adoption. They picked him up from the hospital, so they were the only ones on there. Dude, his dad did his DNA test, his biological father did the DNA test and probably just got notified that he has a son. He's married and has other kids. We just stalked his social media. He's just gonna get a little ding on his phone and be like, you have a long-lost son you don't know about because the woman probably never told him.
Well, damn, that is quite the situation. How is he not freaking out? I mean, if I was adopted, which I'm not, but if I was, I wouldn't really want to know who my biological parents are, because my real parents are the people who adopted me, the people who chose to take care of me. Those parents showed me love. The biological parents didn't show me love. Do I give a shit about who my adopted parents are? I don't. So if I was adopted, I wouldn't give a fuck, to be honest, about who my biological parents were. So how is he not freaking out? I mean, I don't know, maybe that could be why. My best friend's dad found out he had a daughter. He had no clue because she was the product of a one-night stand. Actions have consequences, boys and girls. Sorry, I'm distracted by your amazing eyelashes. Not to be mean or anything, but on second thoughts, never mind. Let's just move on. Tell me a crazy story.
One time I went skiing in Norway and then I crashed into a stone and then I broke all my bones in my body and now I'm here.
Last night I went on a madness.
One time.
I don't know if I believe all your bones, every single one. Did that rock punch you in the face?
Yeah, we went to Prairie Gardens. We seen people shagging in the bush.
Yeah, they were making out and everything.
It was people having weddings and everything.
Yeah.
I went to a restaurant with some of my mates and he pulled down my trousers to round my ankles and it was pretty rough time.
Once a monkey pissed on my chest and I had burns for 3 months.
We were in Barcelona on a school trip and she got stalked by this man. Followed me all the way and tried to grab me and then he got pushed onto a train.
My crazy story
Yo, was that the girl from the Victor Espinoza story? You know, the mugshot guy? Yo, I think that was the girl.
I bought City String from Poundland and I'm gonna spray you all.
My mate, I'm shocked his sister.
Let's do another one of those videos. Tell me a secret. Let's hear the secrets.
I've won the lottery and I haven't told anyone yet. One time when I was younger,
Yo, where's the hat?
I threw my mum's purse in the wardrobe and said it wasn't me.
I accidentally killed my hamster and I told everyone he suffocated. Mr. Crumpets.
Rest in peace to Mr. Crumpets. Mr. Crumpets, rest in peace to you, young man. How do you accidentally kill a hamster? One time I accidentally killed my turtle, but that was a different story. I had a pet turtle. I named him Mr. Turtle. And he, I would just look at him through the case, you know, the turtle case. And I would just look at him. So he wouldn't give any reaction, whether I would pull a peekaboo or anything, he would just look at me blindly. So I was chewing pink strawberry Trident gum one time, and I put the gum on the, casing or whatever. And then for the first time ever, this guy gave a reaction. He started trying to eat the pink. So then I put it up and he tried to reach for it, tried to put it down. He tried to reach for it. So I'm like, okay, he likes the gum. So I decided to give him a tiny, when I say tiny, bro, I swear, I mean this tiny of a piece. You can't even see it. Little particle. So I gave him that piece and he tried to eat it and he died. And I remember that gave me literal nightmares when I was a kid. I was like, it's all my fault. What have I done? And I was like, bro, I was just trying to feed him. I was just trying to, I was trying to do good here. Why did that have to happen? Mr. Turtle, please forgive me. I was a stupid child.
I've disposed of a very large number of bodies, dead bodies.
My mate once set a school toilet on fire. My mate's been getting a perm for 6 years straight, and he hasn't told anyone but me.
I have a crush on the guy I've known since I was 4. I've dated several people since then, but I haven't been able to get over him.
I told my mum I was single all my life, but I've actually had like 5 boyfriends.
So I've been scammed twice in a space of about 5 months. Once was a trading scam and once was a near TikTok scam.
The code.
That's your own fault, dumbass. That's your own fault. It's nobody's fault but your own.
Code to skip the queue at lunch is basketball.
So when I was in year 1, my teacher put me in a cupboard, unfairly. Very unfairly put me in a cupboard.
What? That can't be legal.
Happened in Mexico. And it actually happened to my uncle. They found my uncle dead in like the woods.
Oh, okay.
What happened was is that he used to get drunk a lot. He would always go with my other uncles and stuff. And they would walk from like spot to spot or whatever, right? They were saying that they literally saw a beautiful woman telling them to follow her. Well, like spooked them out as they literally saw that she was floating, so they dipped. So this one time I think he went by himself to go drink, to go do what he regularly does, but he never came back home. So they went looking for him, and then they said that they found him like out in the campo type shit, like just laying on the floor.
He had no injuries on him?
Nah, nothing, bro, nothing. They said that he died from regular causes, but why would he be just laying there on the floor? And they're saying that maybe he saw it again, but this time he actually followed her.
Damn. I don't want to say anything else other than rest in peace to his uncle. Let's just move on. Look, when I stream next month, it'll play out differently, but as of right now, just leave it at that. Rest in peace to that guy's uncle.
On the 25th of June 2014, Charles Bothell went on the Nancy Grace Show seeking the public's help in finding his missing son. 12-year-old Charlie was first reported missing from his home in Detroit, Michigan 11 days ago on June 14th. His father, Charles, had been doing everything in his power to help locate his son, from going door to door in his neighborhood to spreading missing person posters throughout the city. Unfortunately, despite dozens of people, including the FBI looking for him, the young boy was nowhere to be found. And the hope of finding him alive was diminishing with each passing day. Appearing on live TV was Charles' last-ditch effort to raise awareness about his son's disappearance, hoping someone with information might see the show. However, just minutes into the broadcast, the interview took a bizarre turn when Nancy received a report that no one expected.
The father of the missing 12-year-old boy, Charlie, with me is his father, Charlie Bothell. Charlie, we're getting reports that your son has been found in your basement. Sir?
Apparently, while Charles was on TV, investigators obtained a search warrant to conduct a thorough search of his...
Yo, I want to know more about that. Why'd that cut off? Oh, these TikTok fucks kept it just over a minute. Well, what ended up happening to him? Charles Bothell. In 2016, he pleaded guilty to the 4th-degree child abuse after accepting a plea deal. So how much time did he get? He got 1.5 years for that. This is the right person, right? Yeah, this is the same person. He only got 1.5 years. Bro, what? I'm not even gonna talk about this. Bro, are you fucking kidding me? Anything that involves children like that, you have to have something wrong with your head to ever do something like that to a child. And the fact that this guy only got 1.5 years from this is unbelievable. Like, look at the sincerity in his eyes.
And the hope of finding him alive was diminishing with each passing day. Appearing on live...
Bro, those are sincere looking eyes. Yet, the kid was in his basement the whole time. Bro, I don't know, man. I think I've had enough of this video. Yo, if you want to hear some more stories of my life and things that have happened throughout my life, I made this video ranking every anime. I know it's an anime video, but that video, I did talk a lot about, stuff throughout my life. It's one of my favorite videos. You should check that one out. Reminder, I am streaming every single day in November. I will see you later.